ability and brutality that had a profound impact on every aspect of their society. The relentless pursuit of power and control led to the weakening of alliances and partnerships that had long sustained the Maya civilization. As the rivalries intensified, the Maya entered a period of instability and strife. The political landscape shifted dramatically. Alliances were forged and broken. Betrayals and power struggles became commonplace. Meanwhile, a growing sense of insecurity swept through the region. Each city-state lived in constant fear of the next attack, of the next devastating blow. This atmosphere of anxiety and suspicion permeated daily life. Ordinary Maya citizens found themselves caught in the crossfire of these political machinations. The very fabric of their society, which had been woven together with threads of cooperation and cultural exchange, begun to fray, and with each passing year, the bonds that had held them together grew weaker. People huddle around a dying fire. Rumors spread of a mysterious new god, powerful enough to bring ruin upon entire cities. Narrator. Amidst this turmoil, another factor emerged that may have contributed to the collapse of the Maya civilization. Religion. The Maya believed that their kings were divine, acting as intermediaries between the mortal world and the realm of the gods. But as the droughts continued and living conditions worsened, the people began to question their rulers. Were the kings failing in their duty to appease the gods? Was there a different path to salvation? Some turned to new religious movements, searching for answers and solace in unfamiliar deities. One such movement centered around the worship of a deity known as the Feathered Serpent, who embodied both death and rebirth. This god resonated with a population that was suffering from the cyclical droughts and famines. He offered a glimmer of hope in a world that seemed increasingly harsh and unforgiving. Another factor contributing to this religious fervor was the arrival of new ideas and cultural influences from neighboring civilizations. The Maya had always been open to cultural exchange, but the intensity of these new religious movements suggests a profound societal shift. The Maya had encountered diverse beliefs during their interactions with the neighboring cultures, and some of these beliefs challenged their traditional religion. Yet amidst this religious upheaval, the old ways persisted. Many Maya continued to venerate their traditional gods and revered their kings as divine. But this coexistence of old and new did little to alleviate the mounting pressures on Maya society. Tiord whales, once central to their identity, began to be seen by some as obstacles to change and progress. The Maya found themselves at a critical crossroads. The familiar landscape of their faith, their economy, and their way of life was rapidly changing. The once thriving cities, renowned for their grandeur and cultural vibrancy, were now struggling under the weight of competing kingdoms, environmental challenges, and internal strife. The Maya civilization, once a beacon of human achievement, was on the brink of a profound transformation. But what exactly did this transformation look like? Did the Maya simply vanish, leaving no trace of their existence? Or did they adapt and evolve into something new? The answer lies in the archaeological record, piecing together the fragments of a lost civilization. 1,000 years after the Maya's disappearance, we see the jungle has reclaimed much of their cities, but not all. Some cities like its Ai in the Yucatan Peninsula remained occupied. Here, the Maya didn't disappear. They integrated with the incoming kingdom of the Itza Maya. Instead of vanishing, they melded with the dominant culture, their bloodline continuing in the heart of the Yucatan. Their influence can still be seen in the towns and villages of modern-day Mexico and Central America. Many of their descendants speak Maya languages and continue to practice aspects of their traditional culture. The classic Maya civilization may have collapsed, but Maya people endured. The end of the classic Maya period was not the end of their story. Their legacy lives on in the art, architecture, and traditions of their descendants. Their disappearance was not a full disappearance. It was a transformation, a blending with other cultures, a resilience that has allowed their legacy to endure for millennia. Narrator. The story of the Maya doesn't end here. It echoes in the stories of their descendants, in the art they crafted, in the languages they spoke, and in the traditions they held dear. Their disappearance was not a singular event, but a gradual fading into the tapestry of history. The Maya civilization, though largely vanished from the historical record, left an indelible mark on the course of human history. Their advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and art serve as a testament to the brilliance of pre-Columbian America. Their sophisticated calendar system, aligned with the cosmos, continues to fascinate modern scientists. Their monumental architecture, rising from the jungle canopy, remains a source of wonder and inspiration. The Maya may have disappeared from the pages of mainstream history, but their contributions to human civilization are timeless. They remind us that even in the face of collapse, life endures. From the ruins of their great cities to the vibrant cultures of their descendants, the story of the Maya continues to unfold. It's a story of resilience, adaptation, and the enduring spirit of human ingenuity. And while much of their past remains shrouded in mystery, their legacy shines brightly in the tapestry of world history. You hear the sound of distant thunder. You see scenes of rivers drying up and cracked earth under a scorching sun. You feel the desperation of farmers looking up to the skies for rain. Rain that doesn't come. A gripping tale of a civilization grappling with one of humanity's most formidable challenges: drought. This is a story that resonates across time. In today's episode, we're diving deep into the fascinating theories surrounding the drought, the demands of war, and the threat of ecological collapse. This internal strife may have spread like wildfire, engulfing the entire Maya region in a vortex of chaos. As cities crumbled, populations suffered, and the social fabric of Maya society tore apart. In the end, some cities, once symbols of power and prosperity, may have become too fragile to withstand the onslaught, collapsing under the combined weight of environmental stress and political turmoil. What makes the Maya drought theory even more intriguing is that it's not a solitary narrative. It's a thread woven into a tapestry of factors that may have contributed to their decline. Disease, too, could have played a significant role. Densely populated urban centers, like those of the Maya, were breeding grounds for epidemics. Picture a Maya city during one of its annual festivals. A vibrant display of culture, religion, and community. The streets are bustling, the atmosphere is electric, and people from all corners of the city come together to celebrate. But lurking among the crowds is a silent, unseen threat. A disease spreading from person to person, leaving a trail of sickness and death in its wake. When a population lives in close proximity, the spread of diseases can be rapid, and the Maya cities, with their dense populations, were particularly vulnerable. Famine and war would have weakened the immune systems of entire communities, making them more susceptible to outbreaks. The Maya, like any other society, would have been ill-equipped to handle the onslaught of a widespread epidemic. This isn't just a historical curiosity. It's a stark reminder of the fragility of human civilization. The Maya had flourished for centuries, adapting to environmental challenges and building impressive cities. But when multiple pressures converge, even the most resilient societies can crumble. And as we piece together the puzzle of their decline, we must acknowledge the role of chance and unpredictability. Nature rarely operates on a schedule. Just as the Maya adapted to the rhythms of the rain, they would have been attuned to the cycles of planting and harvesting. But sometimes nature throws curveballs, droughts that last longer than expected, storms that strike unexpectedly, floods that defy historical patterns. These unpredictable events can play a pivotal role in shaping the course of history. The Maya, with their deep connection to the natural world, would have understood the importance of adaptation. Yet even their adaptability would have had limits. When faced with an onslaught of unrelenting drought, unanticipated disease outbreaks, or a combination of ecological and political turmoil, their very way of life hung in the balance. As we reflect on the potential causes of the Maya collapse, it's essential to remember that history rarely points fingers at a single cause. It's usually a confluence of factors that leads to the rise and fall of civilizations. The Maya were not merely victims of circumstance. They were a vibrant, resilient people who thrived for centuries. Their story serves as a reminder of the delicate balance that civilizations teeter on and the myriad factors that can contribute to their decline. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the ancient world, let us remember the lessons embedded in the stories of civilizations past. The Maya, with their rich legacy, teach us about resilience, adaptation, and the unforeseen challenges that can befall even the most advanced societies. Mist rises over a dense jungle at dawn. Slowly, the tops of pyramids emerge through the fog. Narrator. Deep within the jungles of Central America lie the silent remains of a once great civilization. Towering pyramids, Crumbling temples and forgotten roads stretch across the land, hidden beneath centuries of overgrowth. More than 1,000 years ago, these cities teemed with life. The Maya civilization thrived here for centuries, one of the most advanced cultures of the ancient world. And then, almost as suddenly as they rose, the great Maya cities fell silent. Temples were abandoned, plazas deserted, and entire regions left in ruin. What happened to this mighty civilization? Today, we journey back in time to uncover the story of the Maya's rise, their golden age, and their mysterious disappearance. Visuals of small farming villages transforming into larger ceremonial centers. Narrator. The roots of Maya civilization stretch back over 4,000 years, around 2000 BC. Small farming communities began to spread across the lowlands and highlands of what is now Mexico. Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. Over generations, these villages evolved into organized societies. They built ceremonial centers, traded goods like jade and obsidian, and developed their first writing systems. By 500 BC, the Maya had already begun constructing pyramids and temples, early signs of the greatness to come. Visuals of small farming villages transforming into larger ceremonial centers. Narrator. The roots of Maya civilization stretch back over 4,000 years. Around 2000 BC, small farming communities began to spread across the lowlands and highlands of what is now Mexico. Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. Over generations, these villages evolved into organized societies. They built ceremonial centers, traded goods like jade and obsidian, and developed their first writing systems. By 500 BC, the Maya had already begun constructing pyramids and temples, early signs of the greatness to come. Cinematic reveal of bustling cities. Traders, farmers, priests, and rulers. Narrator. The period between 250 AD and 900 AD is known as the Classic Maya era, the golden age of their civilization. During this time, the Maya built some of the most spectacular, tracked the movements of celestial bodies, and designed sophisticated calendars. As we continue our journey, we want to emphasize that the Maya civilization wasn't a monolithic entity. It consisted of many independent city-states, each with its own ruler, customs, and traditions. Over the centuries, these city-states engaged in trade, formed alliances, and went to war. But despite their differences, they shared a common identity rooted in their language, religion, and cultural practices. Now let's talk about what life was like in the Maya world. Their cities were centers of political, economic, and religious life. They were home to grand palaces, imposing temples, and bustling marketplaces. Maya society was highly stratified, with a king at the top, followed by nobles, priests, merchants, and commoners. Each level had its own responsibilities and privileges. The king, considered divine, was responsible for maintaining order, waging war, and ensuring the prosperity of the city. Nobles often held important administrative or military positions. Priests played a vital role in religious ceremonies and maintaining the Maya's complex religious calendar. Merchants and artisans contributed to the economy through trade and craftsmanship, and commoners, mostly farmers and laborers, formed the backbone of society. Depiction of a ball game with players leaping for a ball. Narrator. Life in the Maya world wasn't all work. They had their share of leisure activities. The Maya loved sports, particularly a game that resembled modern basketball. Players used their hips, knees, and elbows, but never their hands, to keep a small rubber ball in play. It was a game of skill, strategy, and endurance, played on a court with high, sloping sides. The Maya also enjoyed music, dancing, and theater. Their performances often depicted scenes from mythology, history, or everyday life. And let's not forget the Maya's love for art. Their sculptures, pottery, and murals were not just decorative, but often served as a form of historical record or religious instruction. A bustling marketplace filled with vendors and customers. Narrator. The Maya excelled in agriculture. They cleared the jungle to create vast fields where they grew maize, beans, squash, and tomatoes. These crops provided the calories and nutrients necessary to sustain a growing population. Trade was a vital part of Maya life. They exchanged goods, such as jade, obsidian, and feathers with neighboring civilizations. This trade not only brought in essential resources, but also exposed them to new ideas and technologies. Time-lapse visuals of clouds gathering over the horizon, hinting at an impending storm. Narrator. Now, let's shift gears and talk about the collapse of the Maya civilization. By the 8th century, cracks began to appear in the foundations of Maya society. Populations grew rapidly, putting immense pressure on resources like farmland and water. Cities became overcrowded, leading to conflict between ruling elites and commoners. Some regions saw increasing political unrest, while others experienced environmental strain. Temples that once symbolized prosperity now stood as reminders of mounting problems. A lone farmer surveys his parched fields, his face etched with worry. Narrator. To understand the decline of the Maya, we must consider multiple factors that came together like a perfect storm. The first was the changing climate. The Maya lived in a region that depended on seasonal rains, but starting around the 8th century, the weather patterns shifted, bringing prolonged droughts. Without the life-giving rains, crops failed, rivers dried up, and people migrated in search of better lives. Depiction of a battle between rival Maya. Narrator. Second, there was warfare. The Maya world was divided into dozens of independent city-states. While they sometimes allied with each other, they also fought constant wars for dominance. The most famous rivalry was between Tikal and Calakmul, two powerful cities locked in a struggle for supremacy. These wars drained resources, disrupted trade, and caused massive population displacement. As drought intensified, competition for land and food turned violent, pushing the civilization further into chaos. Visuals of a city under siege, smoke rising from burning buildings. Narrator. Third, there was overpopulation. By the 6th and 7th centuries, Maya cities were densely populated. The classic Maya cities reached their peak around the 9th century. Tikal had a population of around 150,000, while cities like Palenque and Uaxaction housed between 10,000 and 30,000 people each. This rapid urbanization put stress on housing, sanitation, and food supply. As the population grew, so did inequality, leading to social unrest and instability. Famine and disease take hold, causing people to become weak and desperate. Narrator. Fourth, famine and disease. The Maya's primary food source was maize, but the changing climate led to crop failures, which resulted in widespread famine. This, combined with the breakdown of trade networks, meant that essential goods and services were no longer reaching those who needed them. The lack of nutrition weakened the population, making them more susceptible to diseases that spread through the crowded cities. Emigration and cultural preservation. Time-lapse visuals of abandoned Maya cities overgrown with vegetation. As the Maya civilization declined, many of its cities were abandoned. Nature reclaimed these ancient metropolises, turning temples into forests and palaces into pastures. Yet the Maya people did not disappear. They took their traditions, language, and knowledge with them as they moved to new settlements. Their descendants, the modern Maya, continue to thrive, keeping their cultural flame alive for over 2,000 years. Narrative close-up of a Maya artifact, perhaps a sculpture or a ceramic piece, shifted and changed, affecting where and how crops grow. If the climate took a turn during the classic Maya era, it could have led to food shortages and mass migration. But wait, there's more. According to the El Niño theory, every 3 to 7 years, weather patterns across the Pacific Ocean flipped, causing droughts in the Americas. And guess when most Maya cities were abandoned? Right around the time these shifts were happening. Natural disasters. Mother Nature can be unpredictable, from volcanic eruptions to earthquakes. Such events not only disrupt daily life, but also trigger cascading effects on food production, trade routes, and overall stability. But let's not forget about the human factor. Warfare between city-states might have escalated, draining resources and destabilizing the region. And while it's a lot to digest, all of these theories could have played a part in the Maya collapse. It's like a puzzle where each piece fits a bit differently. Let me know what you think happened to the Maya in the comments below. Was it one big event, or a combination of factors? And what do you find most intriguing about this civilization? But don't worry, the Maya story doesn't end here. After the fall of the classic Maya, a new chapter began. New cities rose, new ideas emerged, and the Maya continued to thrive in their own unique way. So sit tight, because we're just getting started on our journey through time. And if you're enjoying this adventure, please hit that subscribe button. You'll get to join a community of history buffs and be the first to hear about new videos. So let's keep exploring together. As we wrap up our journey back in time, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered. The Maya were a civilization of brilliance, leaving us with a legacy of knowledge and innovation that continues to amaze. From their scientific breakthroughs to their artistic achievements, they remind us of humanity's boundless curiosity and creativity. But their story also reminds us of the fragility of even the greatest civilizations. The collapse of the classic Maya era serves as a reminder of the challenges and changes that have shaped our world. As we continue to explore history, let's carry the Maya's legacy forward, celebrating their achievements and learning from their struggles. Their story is not just a tale of the past, but a part of our shared human experience that continues to resonate today. Here are some questions to ponder as we go our separate ways for now. What surprised you the most about the Maya civilization? Which aspect of their culture or achievements stood out to you? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. It's always fascinating to hear your perspectives. And if you're eager to keep the adventure alive, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me on this journey through time. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and keep exploring the wonders of our shared history. The jungle dries out, rivers turn to dust, and farmers look to the skies in desperation. Narrator. 1,000 years ago, the Maya stared down the barrel of a mega drought. Scientific evidence shows that during this period, the Maya faced a series of severe droughts. Lake sediments and tree rings revealed decades of unusually low rainfall. For a civilization dependent on seasonal rains, this was catastrophic. Failed harvests led to famine, disease, and mass migration. As resources dwindled, cities could no longer sustain their populations. The drought alone wasn't the only cause. It was just one piece of a much larger puzzle. Battle scenes of Maya warriors with painted faces and elaborate headdresses. Narrator. The Maya world was divided into dozens of independent cities. While they sometimes allied with each other, they also fought constant wars for dominance. The most famous rivalry was between Tikal and Calakmul, two powerful cities locked in a struggle for supremacy. These wars drained resources, disrupted trade, and caused massive population displacement. As drought intensified, competition for land and food turned violent, pushing the civilization further into chaos. Scenes of sickness spreading through crowded cities, rulers overthrown and temples abandoned. Narrator. Some researchers believe that epidemics swept through Maya cities, fueled by famine and poor sanitation. Meanwhile, political power crumbled. Commoners may have revolted against their rulers, abandoning faith in their leaders and their gods. By 900 AD, many of the great southern cities were completely deserted. Temples fell silent. The jungle began to reclaim the land. The classic Maya era had come to an end. Hopeful music. Modern Maya communities are shown alongside archaeologists at work. Narrator. Despite the fall of their cities, the Maya people themselves never vanished. Today, millions of Maya descendants live across Central America. They speak Maya languages, practice traditional crafts, and preserve many aspects of their culture. Modern archaeologists are using cutting-edge LiDAR scanning technology to uncover hidden cities beneath the jungle canopy. These discoveries reveal that the Maya civilization was far larger and more complex than we ever imagined. Each new finding brings us closer to understanding their true history. A slow, aerial shot of an overgrown pyramid at sunset. Gentle, reflective music plays. Narrator. The fall of the Maya was not caused by a single disaster, but by a perfect storm of challenges. Climate change, warfare, political collapse, and human choices. Their story serves as a powerful reminder. Even the most advanced societies are fragile. Narrator reflection. As we face our own global challenges today, the lessons of the Maya are more relevant than ever. Narrator call to action. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the past. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us uncover more hidden stories of history and ancient civilizations. Today, When we think of the ancient Maya, we picture magnificent pyramids peeking through a thick jungle canopy, mysterious hieroglyphic writing, and a surprisingly sophisticated understanding of mathematics and astronomy. But the ancient Maya also left behind another of Tikal and Kalak. The two kingdoms battled back and forth with varying degrees of success. The wars were costly and drained both sides of valuable resources. This constant competition hampered the Maya's ability to address the other issues they faced. Instead of banding together to tackle the drought or famine, the Maya lords chose to fight it out as their civilization slowly crumbled around them. But wait, there's more. It turns out that even after centuries of drought, famine, and war, the Maya still had one more challenge to overcome: disease. It's unclear whether the disease struck first or the population. Decline caused by the other disasters created the conditions for the disease to spread. What is clear is that Maya cities were extremely densely populated. The cities were home to thousands of people who lived in close quarters and shared resources. This made it easy for illness to spread. Unfortunately, there is a good chance that the Maya didn't know how to stop the illness once it started spreading. They didn't understand germs, and the concept of quarantine was alien to them. As the drought dragged on and the rains failed to appear, the Maya peered to its downfall, including the expansion of the neighboring Mali Empire, internal conflicts, and the loss of control over trade routes. The Indus Valley Civilization. The Indus Valley Civilization was one of the world's first great civilizations. It flourished in what is now Pakistan and northwest India from around 2800 to 1800 BCE. Civilization was known for its advanced cities, sophisticated urban planning, and intricate artwork. But by 1800 BCE, the civilization had declined. Scholars believe that a combination of factors led to its demise, including climate change, the drying up of the Indus River, and the arrival of new nomadic groups in the region. The lesson to be learned: civilizations are fragile things. They can rise and fall in a matter of decades or centuries. Even the most powerful and prosperous civilizations are vulnerable to collapse. If they face too many challenges, the Maya faced too many challenges and paid the price. But their story isn't just a cautionary tale. It's also a story of resilience. Despite everything they faced, the Maya survived. Their culture and traditions endured, and their descendants are thriving today. The collapse of civilization is a tale as old as time. From the height of the Bronze Age to the fall of mighty Rome, human ingenuity has met with spectacular ends. But few collapses are as haunting as the fall of the Maya. This isn't the story of how Rome fell or Greece fell or how the Bronze Age collapsed. It is a story of a civilization that lived on through its decline and emerged again. The Maya never disappeared. Today we're going to talk about how the Maya collapsed, and more importantly, how they rose again. But before we dive into the story, allow me to ask you a favor. The Maya were visionaries in both art and science. Their writing system, composed of intricate hieroglyphs, recorded histories, dynasties, and even religious texts. In astronomy, they excelled beyond many contemporary civilizations. While most cultures saw the heavens as a divine tapestry beyond human understanding, the Maya priests saw patterns, rules, and rhythms. They tracked the movements of planets and stars with such precision that they could predict eclipses. They understood the complexities of the solar and lunar cycles and the agricultural implications of both. Their keen observation of celestial bodies allowed them to develop sophisticated calendars, keeping track of time with such accuracy that it still fascinates us today. There were 3 calendars that they used. The first was the Hab, a 365-day solar calendar consisting of 18 months of 20 days each, plus a 5-day period at the end of the year, considered unlucky. Then there was the Tulki, a sacred 260-day calendar used for divination and ritual purposes. This calendar consisted of 20 named days, each associated with a particular deity or symbol, and 30 numbers. Finally, the long count calendar measured time in much longer spans, allowing them to keep track of dates thousands of years into the past or future. It was based on a vigesimal or 20-base system and used a combination of day, night, month, year, and backed in units to record time. The Maya's fascination with the cosmos extended to their mythology as well. Many of their creation stories describe the heavens as a place of supreme importance, often as the home of gods or ancestors. Some myths tell of gods descending from the sky to interact with humans, bringing knowledge and culture to the nascent Maya societies. These beliefs reflected not only their scientific understanding of the heavens, but also their deep connection to the earth. The Maya recognized the sun's life-giving powers and revered it as a deity. Similarly, they respected the rain, essential for their agricultural way of life, and personified it as a god. The cyclical nature of these celestial phenomena further reinforced the Maya's belief in a dynamic relationship between the earth and the heavens, shaping their religious practices and worldview. Their calendar system remains famous to this day. The Maya also pioneered advanced mathematics. One of their most significant contributions was the early use of the concept of zero, a notion virtually unknown to most of the ancient world. This revolutionary idea enabled the Maya to perform complex calculations and develop sophisticated astronomical theories. Without the concept of zero, the Maya's base 20 counting system would have been significantly limited, impeding their ability to perform complex calculations and represent large numbers accurately. Their understanding of mathematics also facilitated their development of a bidecimal number system. Since they didn't have a symbol for zero, they might have conceived of numbers as positions within a set of unique symbols, similar to the way we use unique symbols for numbers in our own base 10 system. But the Maya's mathematical prowess wasn't confined to theoretical concepts. They applied their knowledge to real-world problems. For example, their accurate determination of the length of a year and the phases of the moon were crucial for their sophisticated calendar system. They used mathematics to predict eclipses and understand the complexities of agriculture. Their construction projects, including the construction of temples and the creation of precise road networks, demanded sophisticated surveying and measurement techniques. The Maya's mathematical achievements were not merely impressive for their time, but laid the groundwork for later civilizations, showcasing the intellectual brilliance of pre-Columbian America. Now let's explore the trading routes of the Maya. The Maya world was connected by vast networks of trade and diplomacy. Merchants traveled along rivers and overland routes, carrying goods like jade from the mountains, obsidian for weapons and tools, salt, cacao beans, textiles, and exotic feathers. Trade wasn't just about commerce. It was a lifeline for the Maya, binding cities together and fostering cultural exchange. Along the trade routes, merchants would stop at market centers where they would buy and sell their wares. These the ancient world. This broader context suggests that the Maya were not merely suffering from isolated misfortune, but were experiencing the consequences of significant global climatic shifts. The effects of these droughts were not limited to the physical realm. They had profound consequences for the social, political, and economic structures of Maya society. As food became scarce, the social order began to fray. Rulers and elites faced growing discontent from their subjects, who bore the brunt of the hardships brought by the droughts. The traditional Maya cosmology, which held that rulers maintained harmony between the people and the gods, was challenged as the populace questioned the abilities of their leaders. The droughts became a crucible for Maya society, testing the resilience of their institutions and the faith of their people. Those who suffered from the droughts looked to their leaders for solutions, demanding action to alleviate their suffering. When those demands were not met, the stage was set for profound changes in the political landscape of the Maya world. The droughts created a breeding ground for instability, setting the stage for the collapse of the classic Maya civilization. As the Maya entered a period of severe drought and food shortage, a few cities remained immune. The Maya collapse is often portrayed as a sudden and total catastrophe, but the reality was more complex. While some cities suffered greatly, others fared relatively better. Tikal, located in the northern Maya region, managed to avoid the worst of the droughts that ravaged the southern lowlands. This resilience can be attributed to several factors. Firstly, Tikal enjoyed a strategic advantage due to its distance from the epicenter of the droughts. Secondly, Tikal had access to water resources that were less severely affected by the dry spells. Thirdly, Tikal's sophisticated water management systems, including reservoirs and canals, helped them store and distribute water more effectively during times of scarcity. Finally, Tikal's strong alliances with other northern Maya city-states provided a buffer against the chaos unfolding in the south. These advantages allowed Tikal to weather the droughts with less devastation. setting the stage for its emergence as a prominent Maya center in the post-classical period. The Maya collapse was a process that spanned several centuries and involved multiple contributing factors. While the droughts played a pivotal role, they did not act in isolation. Overcrowded cities and tense markets foreshadowed trouble. By the late 8th century, warning signs began to appear. Populations had grown beyond the land's capacity to support them. Farmers were forced to expand into less fertile areas, leading to declining crop yields. Nobles and rulers competed fiercely for power, while commoners shouldered increasing burdens of labor and taxation. The arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century marked the end of the Maya's independence and the beginning of centuries of Spanish rule. During this time, the Spanish sought to suppress Maya culture, language, and religion. Many Maya were subjected to forced labor and the transatlantic slave trade. Yet despite these hardships, the Maya people persevered. In the 18th century, the Maya began to resist Spanish rule through rebellions and acts of defiance. The Caste War of Casta, a major uprising in the 19th century, aimed to restore Maya autonomy and way of life. Although the war ended with the establishment of British Honduras, the Yucatan, and the Maya state of Quintana Roo, it demonstrated the Maya's continued strength and unity. Throughout these challenging times, the Maya kept their cultural traditions alive, including their language, music, dance, and oral histories. The resilience of their culture was a testament to the depth of their traditions and the strength of their collective identity. By the 20th century, the Maya had made significant strides towards leaders like Jacobo Arbenz in Guatemala, works to reform land ownership and improve the lives of Maya communities. The Maya today remain a vibrant and influential presence in Central America. They continue to advocate for their rights, preserve their cultural heritage, and contribute to the political, economic, and social fabric of their respective countries. So what can we learn from the Maya? Their rise and fall teach us valuable lessons about civilization, environment, and resilience. Their sophisticated systems in astronomy, mathematics, and agriculture were cornerstones of their success, but their eventual decline was a reminder of the fragility of even the most advanced societies. The Maya's story is an enduring testament to the human spirit. Despite facing ecological challenges and external pressures, the Maya endured. They adapted to changing circumstances and continued to thrive, leaving an indelible mark on history. Their legacy serves as a source of pride and inspiration for generations to come. And with that ends yet another installment from our channel. We hope that you learned something new here today, and that you will join us for more adventures soon. They were one of the most advanced civilizations in the world. They built grand cities in the tropical jungle, invented a sophisticated writing system, and made remarkable discoveries in mathematics and astronomy. But somehow, between the 9th and 11th century AD, the Maya mysteriously collapsed. By the time the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, their great cities were abandoned and only scattered communities survived in the rugged highlands. Or did they? In today's video, we're going to find out what really happened to the Maya. So when the Spanish began exploring and conquering Central America in the 16th century, they found pockets of Maya people living deep in the jungle. The Maya had been pushed out of their great urban centers, but they were still there, tenacious and defiant. Many of these Rura Maya lived in small villages, eking out a living as farmers or craftspeople. Others maintained a fierce independence, resisting the Spanish attempts at colonization. The Spanish chroniclers described them with terms like indios, meaning Indians or natives. These terms were used to distinguish them from the Spaniards who were conquerors and colonizers. It's important to note that the term Indian is actually a misnomer. The people referred to as Indians by the Spanish were not indigenous to India. Rather, the term was used because Europeans at the time believed they had reached the East Indies or India. Since the explorers were actually on the American continents, they incorrectly labeled the inhabitants as Indians. This reflects the limited geographical knowledge and the prevailing mindset of the time. The Spanish saw themselves as superior and the indigenous peoples as primitive and uncivilized. For nearly 2 centuries, the Maya communities fought back against the colonial forces in brutal and unforgiving campaigns. One of the most significant battles occurred at the fortress of Tepentitla in 1520. Here, the Maya rebelled against Hernán Cortés. The Spanish conquista, subterfuge, and swift attacks By avoiding direct confrontation with the Spanish and striking them in unexpected ways, the Maya inflicted casualties and spread terror among the conquistadors. This approach was effective in frustrating the Spanish efforts at conquest and undermining their authority over the region. One notable leader during this period was the Maya chief Cab, also known as Cabai. He emerged as a prominent figure in the resistance against the Spanish in the mid-16th century. Known for his bravery and strategic brilliance, Cab led his people in a series of successful battles against the conquistadors, inflicting significant losses on them. His military prowess and leadership inspired the Maya people and became a symbol of resistance during a very difficult moment in Maya history, in spite of facing many obstacles and years of struggle. By the end of the 17th century, the Maya had succeeded in protecting their land and maintaining their way of life. They had proven their mettle against the Spanish conquistadors and successfully preserved their culture. But their great cities were gone and their numbers greatly reduced. It took 2 centuries for the Maya to win recognition of their rights as free people. Eventually, in the late 18th century, the Spanish crown granted them autonomy within its empire, acknowledging their existence as distinct ethnic groups with their own rights and customs. This represented a significant step towards the Maya regaining some of their lost sovereignty. However, even after gaining autonomy, the Maya continued to face discrimination and exploitation. During the colonial period, they were often relegated to low-paying labor jobs and were subjected to discriminatory policies. But despite these challenges, the Maya people persevered. They maintained their language, customs, and traditions, ensuring the continuity of their cultural heritage. During the 19th century, the Maya revolted against the oppressive rule of the Spanish colonial government. The Caste War of Yucatan was a pivotal moment in Maya history. It was a long and arduous struggle, but in the end, it led to the establishment of the first modern Maya state, the state of Yucatan. This marked a significant achievement for the Maya people, allowing them to reclaim a portion of their ancestral homeland and exercise self. And so it was that after centuries of conquest and hardship, the Maya people never disappeared. Today, millions of Maya descendants live across Central America, speaking Maya languages, maintaining ancestral traditions and fighting to preserve their cultural heritage. Their story is one of survival, resilience, and cultural endurance. Modern archaeology is transforming our understanding of the Maya. Using LiDAR scanning technology, scientists have discovered thousands of previously unknown structures hidden beneath the jungle canopy. Entire cities, roads, and fortifications have been revealed, bringing to light a past way of life that was far more widespread and sophisticated than anyone realized. New finds are changing our understanding of Maya society. For example, the Maya city of Tikal, once thought to be an isolated jungle outpost, has been linked to a vast network of ancient roads and settlements spanning hundreds of miles across the Yucatan Peninsula. This suggests that the Maya civilization was far more interconnected and influential than previously believed. Similarly, archaeological discoveries have uncovered evidence of large-scale agriculture, complex trade networks, and sophisticated engineering techniques employed by the Maya, challenging previous assumptions about their technological capabilities. Each year brings us closer to unraveling the full story of this incredible civilization. The fall of the Maya was not caused by a single catastrophe, but by a perfect storm of challenges. Climate change, warfare, political collapse, and human choices. Their story is not just ancient history. It is a warning for us today. Even the most advanced civilizations can falter when they fail to adapt, to unite, and to care for their environment. As we face our own challenges, may we remember the lessons of the Maya and ensure that the greatness we build today does not one day become another mystery, lost to time. We hope the year is 250 AD. You are the ruler of Tikal, one of the largest and most powerful city-states of the Maya. Your kingdom stretches from the tropical coast to the edge of the jungle. You have built magnificent stepped pyramids over 100 feet high, adorned with elaborate carvings. Carved into the stonework above the doorways are hieroglyphic inscriptions recounting your victories and royal lineage. The citizens of Tikal are prosperous. The land is fertile. The city's markets overflow with colorful textiles, cocoa beans, and jade ornaments. The people live in peace. This is the golden age of the Maya, and the future seems bright, but all is not as it appears. Strange occurrences have begun to plague the region. There have been droughts, failed harvests, and whispers spread among the people of an impending doom. In fact, many already believe it has begun. According to the sacred calendar, the end of the world is only 5 days away. For the Maya, who took great pride in their astronomical knowledge, such a prediction would have sent shockwaves through the populace. You see, these people did not take kindly to doomsday prophecies. They had survived many before, each time convinced it would be the last. So when the dates circled on their calendar, they went about their lives expecting nothing out of the ordinary. But this time is different. What if the prophecy is true? What if their way of life ends when the clock strikes 0? As you look up at the heavens, pondering the mysteries of existence, will you be able to prevent catastrophe and safeguard your people? Or will you succumb to the relentless grip of fate, joining countless others in an eternal slumber? The answers lie hidden in the distant past, but with your help, we might just uncover them. Welcome to another exciting episode of Time Travel, where we go back in time to some of humanity's most interesting moments. Sit tight as we soar across time and space to experience history firsthand. Today, we find ourselves amidst the rich culture of the classic Maya civilization. We'll unravel their sophisticated society, explore their remarkable achievements, and learn how they accurately predicted the end of the world. But how did they make these predictions? To answer this question, let's explore the breathtaking world of the Maya people. The Maya civilization flourished in what is now Guatemala, Belize, Western Honduras, and El Salvador. These regions were characterized by thick rainforests, stunning coastlines, and fertile lands, ideal for agriculture. This geographical bounty allowed the Maya to develop complex societies that thrived between 250 and 900 AD during the Classic period. During this era, they established independent city-states, each with its own ruler, each fiercely independent but united by language, religion, and culture. Among these city-states, Tikal stood out as a beacon of power and prosperity. Now, let's dive into the Maya's remarkable achievements. One of the most impressive aspects of the Maya was their mastery of mathematics and astronomy. They kept meticulous records of celestial movements, which enabled them to develop a highly accurate calendar system. The Maya invented the concept of zero, a groundbreaking idea that Western civilization wouldn't embrace for another millennium. They also developed a sophisticated numbering system based on the Viazemal or base 20 system, allowing them to perform complex calculations essential for their agricultural practices and religious ceremonies. Their understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and their ability to keep detailed records were key factors in their success, and would later enable them to predict significant astronomical events. As we continue our exploration of the Maya, we must discuss their architectural prowess. The Maya constructed magnificent structures such as pyramids, palaces, and temples. These buildings were not just functional, they were also works of art, adorned with intricate carvings depicting their gods, rulers, and everyday life. The largest and most iconic of these structures are the pyramids, which served as platforms for temples dedicated to their deities. One of the most famous examples is the Temple Aya Tikal, a massive structure towering over 200 feet high, representing the Maya's dedication to their religious beliefs and architectural skills. These grand structures not only played a significant role in religious ceremonies, but also served as symbols of power and status for the ruling elite. Another aspect of Maya culture worth exploring is their art. Maya artists were incredibly talented, creating stunning pieces that depicted their environment, mythology, and daily life. Their artwork was not limited to a single medium. They excelled in painting, sculpture, pottery, and weaving, producing masterpieces that showcased their creativity and skill. One of the most notable examples of Maya art is the murals found in the tombs of their rulers. These paintings often depicted scenes from mythology, showcasing the Maya's belief in the supernatural and their reverence for their ancestors. Adityonayi, the Maya, were skilled craftspeople, creating exquisite jewelry and ornaments from materials like jade and obsidian. Their artistry was not just decorative, it was an integral part of their cultural expression. However, despite their numerous accomplishments, the Maya's path was not without challenges. The civilization faced various natural and human events from the gods. Or will you defy tradition and rely on your own intuition? Your decisions will shape the destiny of your people. Can you lead them to safety, or will Tikal crumble under the weight of fear and uncertainty? The fate of the Maya rests in your hands. Only time will tell how this dramatic chapter of history will unfold. Join us in the next part of this thrilling tale as we explore the lengths you'll go to protect your people and preserve the Maya civilization. The Maya predicted the end of the world, so now the question is, what happens now? So what would you do? Would you sacrifice yourself to save everyone? Or would you try to live another day? Well, whatever you chose, you only have 5 days left to live. So what would you do? Tell us in the comments below. And now, dear viewers, we invite you to become an integral part of our community. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. By doing so, you will not only support us, but also help others discover the wonders of history. Moreover, if you are eager to embark on more exciting journeys through time, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We have many more captivating stories waiting to be explored. So join us today and never miss out on any of our incredible adventures. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through time. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and learned something new about the fascinating world of the Maya. Remember, with your support, we can continue to bring you amazing historical tales. Until next time, keep exploring the past and never stop learning. Stay curious, keep asking questions. And who knows, you might just uncover the next big historical mystery. Thanks for watching. The Maya civilization, known for its stunning architecture, advanced mathematics and intricate art, thrived in what is now Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and Honduras from around 2000 BCE until the Spanish conquest in the 16th century CE. At its peak, the Maya kingdom boasted over 40 million people, spread across numerous cities. Each city-state was ruled by a king considered a divine ruler, a link between the mortal realm and the realm of the gods. But how did these magnificent cities, some towering over 20 stories, support such a massive population? The answer lies in the heart of the jungle, where archaeologists have uncovered the remnants of an ancient metropolis. Welcome to Tikal, the crown jewel of the Maya civilization. As you walk among the towering pyramids and crumbling palaces, it's hard to believe that Tikal was once home to over 100,000 people. The city's impressive size and grandeur were made possible by the introduction of new technologies and the subjugation of neighboring cities. However, the very innovations that brought Tikal to its zenith would also be its undoing. The relentless pursuit of power and expansion led to overpopulation, deforestation, and the depletion of natural resources. This, combined with prolonged droughts, caused widespread famine and instability throughout the Maya kingdom. By the 9th century, most Maya cities, including Tikal, were abandoned. But why did the Maya abandon their great cities? What caused the once vibrant civilization to collapse? Historians and archaeologists have put forth several theories, but the truth is, we may never know for sure. Some believe that the Maya were victims of their own success. As their cities grew, so did their demand for resources, which eventually led to overexploitation. Others argue that climate change played a significant role, with droughts and famines weakening the kingdom from within. Still, others point to outside forces, such as the influence of the Aztec Empire, as a contributing factor. And so the mystery of the Maya civilization continues to fascinate historians and archaeologists even today. Their great cities may have fallen silent, but their legacy lives on in the ruins they left behind, in the stories passed down through generations, and in the culture of the Maya people who still thrive today. Thank you so much for watching this journey through history with us. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with friends, and leave a comment below. We love hearing your thoughts and ideas. And don't forget to subscribe to Storyland for more incredible mysteries and ancient history adventures every single week. Your support means the world to us and helps us keep exploring the past together. Until next time, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next video.